Welcome back. As we promised, we are going to speak about the Cairo Derby, the Al Ahly and Zamalek match, which took place yesterday, and it ended with a 2-all draw. To shed more light on the encounter, we are very much delighted to have with us via phone Mr. Hazem Askandarani, our sports analyst. A very good morning to you, Mr. Hazem.
Good morning.
Mr. Hazem, despite the fact that it ended with a 2-all draw, in any minute of the 90 minutes, it would go for the best interest of one of the two teams. Whose fault is that? Was it the defense line of Al Ahly or Al Zamalek, or the lack of the final touch in front of the two nets?
Actually, for the match of yesterday, a lot of gaps were there. First, when we speak about the Zamalek team, we see that they had a lack in their backbone players, let's say. A lot of people players who were not here for the match yesterday, and this, I think, for the coach of Zamalek, Ferreira, he found a big trouble, especially in the right. In the right side. Of course, he managed to solve the problem with the players that he had, but still, we expected more at the performance of the Zamalek, but the lack of players made the difference. On the other side, for Al Ahly, actually, the main players of Al Ahly were exhausted. The
Very
fatigue
exhausted.
was very important. And we saw that it was reflected, especially on the members of the national team.
Amen.
So when we see, for example, Mohamed Shinawi, he was absent yesterday.
To continue with what you're saying, it was such a wonderful opportunity for Al Zamalek newcomers or the youth, those who are in their early 20s, like say Farouk Ghaffar, for example, when they were injected into the squad, they made the difference. True?
Exactly, for the new players, especially in the Zamalek team.
Yes.
And specifically, Yusuf Osama Nabi and Farouk Ghaffar, they showed really that they can be the future for either Zamalek or the Egyptian national team. They are strong, they are young, they are tall, so they have all the potential to play in Zamalek and in the national team.
They proved that the talent is genetic. But moving to Al Ahly, as you've kindly mentioned, the exhaustion, and namely Shinawi, Amr Sulaya, and Ma'loul. Now Al Ahly is in a very critical situation with Sami Omsan shouldering this heavy responsibility after the departure of Moussimani. If you were wearing his shoes, what you would do with those three big names? I mean, in just 2 days, on Wednesday, Al Ahly is going to have such an encounter against Ghazl al-Mahalla in the Egyptian Premier League. Do you think that it's time to give them some time to rehabilitate and to recover? I mean, those three names, or they are going also to continue because he do not have such options to replace them?
And if I were him, of course, I will choose other players to replace them, because actually what happened for our national team, after being defeated twice in a row in two hard and difficult matches, they need to make a recovery, either physical or psychological. Yes. And unfortunately, they were not alone, the three, just the three of them. I'm talking about, I must mention also Mohamed Hani, who was shared the responsibility with Mohamed Shinawi in both goals. Amr Sulaya needs really to rest.
Yes.
So I think that Ali has the potential to put other players on the pitch and to perform. Actually, with their physical status, facing Al-Mahalla, when they play physical, very physical. So they need somebody who is really up to physically to face them and to meet them really with a lot of power, a lot of strength, a lot of speed. And but for example, on the other hand, somebody like Ahmed Abdel Adr, I think his performance yesterday was not at the height. He needs to get more opportunities and chances to play, but he needs more, let's say, to be more confident by sticking to the plan of the team. He tried yesterday very hard, but it was not his day at all. So he needs
The
to get...
same, what you're saying, sir, can be implemented, copy-paste, if we may say, with the Zamalek against El Bank Al Ahli, because also they are going to have this encounter on Wednesday, just 2 hours earlier. I mean, this exhaustion would be the main factor behind the poor performance, if I may say so, of the big teams?
I can say that this might be true for fewer people when they talk about Zamalek. For example, Winch. But Winch yesterday, he got back, let's say, the psychological recovery, let's say. Mm-hmm. He started to get trust in himself. Abdul Ghani, unfortunately, he needs, really, after the mistake when that caused the first goal of Mohamed Sharif.
Yeah.
But I think that he needs to recover psychologically. But on the other hand, when we talk about the new players, even those who didn't play from the beginning, like Youssef Osama Nabi, who made the assist to Shikabala in the second goal of Zamalek, he is standing still. He is strong on the pitch. He has the self-confidence enough to play. So Zamalek prepared the new players, the younger players, to replace the older ones who are absent.
Sir, I'm sorry to say that, but share me your ideas. The match yesterday went that smooth because it was a Spanish referee, and it's a must to continue with having foreign referees when it comes to the Cairo derbies. I mean, the coming matches also between Al Ahly and Zamalek should be run with, foreign refereeing team. And because of that, it went that smooth yesterday?
For sure, the effect of and the performance of José Luis Monera, the Spanish referee, was important on that game because he managed to control the match perfectly. He is renowned in Europe and in Spain especially that he used a lot of colored cards. He didn't use this just twice against two of the Zamalek players, and it is actually correct from my point of view. So he was perfect yesterday, and he controlled the situation, and he didn't let the time go. The time was not wasted yesterday because of him, and he was firm, and he controlled the situation perfectly. I hope that our referees will understand and will learn from this international level.
Despite the fact that he's very young. Sir, also, one of the wonderful scenes we saw yesterday, it was how the players were engaged in just taking photos like that and showing to the whole world, to us as fans, that it's, by the end of the day, a game. I mean, you would see Imam Ashur apologizing for Walid, for El-Hawi, Walid Saliman. You would see Shikabala just having these wonderful images with the Shenawi. How do you see these images, and how do you see these images as sending message to the spectators and to the fans that this is the real relationship between us as players? On the pitch, we are monsters, but after the final whistle, we are all friends.
Exactly, and this was the spirit between Ahly and Zamalek in general, in all sports, but actually the new wave of showing that we are loyal to our players and our team, which is fake actually, and it causes a lot of troubles and problems in to the environment of sports and football in general. But what the players of both teams yesterday did was great, because we need to stop this unfair play spirit that used to happen in the past matches, actually. So I reinforce this spirit, and I hope that it will continue for good.
Inshallah. One final question, sir, and far from the encounter of yesterday, there are media reports speaking about the French coach Baumel to shoulder the responsibility of our national team. In brief, in 1 minute, how do you see this choice if it's true?
If it is true, of course, I think that we need to prepare ourselves on a long-term plan. So we are not really in a rush to start fast to prepare our team. We need to go in a very very organized way, steady, and self-confidence. This is very important. Unfortunately, most of our players, they lost self-confidence, and they're tired very much. Because of their participation in a lot of matches. They traveled a lot in the past 12 months, either with their teams. I'm talking about Hazem Pyramid for the Confederation Cup and for the Champions League, again, and also for with the national team, either for the qualifiers to the World Cup or the AFCON. So they need to get some rest and to get some self-confidence.
Yeah.
And this will not happen without matches, friendly matches between Egypt and all the teams who could ask to play with Egypt in the preparations of the World Cup.
Well, Mr. Hazem Askandarani, our sports analyst, thank you very much for your input, sir, and have a very good day. And we should here seize the opportunity to say happy birthday to El Ma'allim, to Hassan Shahata, to the one who did it for 3 consecutive times from 2006 to 2010, and who proved that the Egyptians are really the masters of football in the Black Continent. We hope that these achievements are going to be repeated again and again with our talented players. To El Ma'allim, to Hassan Shahata, happy birthday. By this, we come to the end of our breakfast show today. We're in the company of my dear colleague Amal Mukhtar and myself, Nermeen Abdurrahman. Many thanks for watching. For more details, please log on to www.nileinternational.net. Many thanks for watching.